Hello, my name is Jim Mullany from SciTech Process Solutions. Today is Friday, October 14th, 2022. I hope everyone's getting ready for nice holidays coming up. Today I'm doing a video source inspection on a fully remanufactured 240 F as in Frank spin rinse dryer. This video will be uploaded to our YouTube channel, so we do not give our customers' names out. However, their PO it's actually a longer PO, but it's 20223091. This is actually going through one of our distributors in Europe who will be making the direct shipment to the end user. The configuration of this tool is a 240F. The bottom cabinet is just for the testing. It's not part of the rinser dryer. This is just a tabletop unit that will go either on a stainless steel table or a wet sink. It has the state-of-the-art SlickDevice F1 controller. The F is because it's a brush motor. We also have the light indicator so you can see what's happening. The customer purchased a rotor for an A7240MB, which is this cassette. They also purchased the insert for the 3-inch A82M cassette. And here is the insert. And I'll explain that as we do the video. They purchased 3 options. One is the anti-static module. Okay, actually, did they purchase that? Let's look. No, they didn't. Where the anti-static module is supposed to be, there's 2 plugs. That's what's questioned me. They did purchase the resistivity option for DI water. I see the probe in here. Yep. And they also purchased the water recirculation to stop any dead legs in the system. We are going to supply 2 cassettes, A7240, not this cassette, but A7240MB and an A82M cassette for this the processing of the 100 millimeter and the 75 millimeter wafers. Okay. On the back of the rinser dryer, it has our ID tag, SciTech Process Solutions, with our information, our URL. This is the model 240F, serial number SRD01459, date of remanufacturing October 2022, and we have the CE marking on the back of our label for CE marking. This tool is fully CE marked. Okay, so what I'll go ahead and do is, it's pretty boring watching the tool run. I'll go ahead and start load the 100 millimeter wafers, start the process, kind of explain what that is, review our remanufacturing process. Then I will then also do a run with the insert and the smaller wafers. So the operator or student simply walks up, loads the cassette, just like that. And I have a predefined, pretty standard recipe. There's a short rinse at 500 RPM. We have a purge, which I'll explain later, a dry 1 and a dry 2 for the complete drying. I will not go into detail on our SlickDevice Controller programming and capabilities. There's a lot of videos we've done on YouTube that go through very detailed training. There will be a manual sent with this also. So, and we'll be more than happy with the end user if they have any questions on programming it. But it's pretty straightforward. There's a lot of capability on the back end screens for maintenance, which the operator or a student will never use. Okay, I've loaded the rinser dryer. Hit start. Okay, we're doing our traditional rinse, which is just a low RPM rinse. As you can see, it's rinsing beautifully. We'll then move into the purge. What the purge does is it blows the DI water out of the nozzle so it doesn't drip back. Then you'll go into dry 1, which is a traditional high RPM, short duration process that'll sling the DI water off of the cassette, wafers, and rotor. Then you'll go into dry 2, which is the elongated dry that uses the hot end 2, slower RPM, but still also centrifugal force, and heater blankets. The heater blankets will also be in dry 1. Okay, we're ramping up nicely. 1800 is what we're going to. All right, we'll be there in a second. The purge is very short, so now dry 1 will get to the 1800 in RPM mode. Brush motors, because of the capability of a brush motor, they over and undershoot on our SlickDevice until the SlickDevice can stabilize exactly at 1800 RPM, which will be right about now. In fact, now it is stabilized and it's perfect. 1800 plus or minus 0 RPM. Okay, so while this is running, I'll talk about a remanufacturing process. So at SciTech, we can do any size rinser dryer. We can do 300 millimeter or larger. We can do large glass substrates. We can do silicon wafers. We can do GaN wafers, indium wafers. It doesn't really matter. We can do parts, pieces, custom cassettes. We design our own custom cassettes here. Right now there's quite a lot of worldwide business for 200 millimeter. We're selling a lot of 200 millimeter systems. It's kind of interesting because this is 100 millimeter, but it's for again, this would be R&D in a university type setting. So in our manufacturing process, when a job is done, it's given to our manufacturing manager who reviews it. They pull the parts and they start the remanufacturing of the tool. The system is built up without any polypropylene at all. We have a special in-house proprietary reprocessing of the bowl that we do. Then we do an electropolish of that. We do a lot, we EP a lot of the other parts, and we start the dry build in manufacturing. We'll rebuild the motors, rebuild the ACR valves. We'll test all the heaters. We'll replace the blanket heaters. We replace all Teflon and pneumatic tubing with brand new tubing. The Teflon is all new, and all the pneumatic is color coded for ease of maintenance. We'll put a new window, a new door seal, a new rear seal. So the system goes through a complete remanufacturing. One thing that customers sometimes say is, we leave the film on top of the SlickDevice controller. That can be peeled off. We do it only for protection of the screen during shipment and so forth. But we've had customers say, well, is that supposed to come off? But yes, you can peel it off as you want when it arrives at the end user. Once the technician has done what we call the dry build and they're happy with it, we have a first QC process. We have another technician review the work, make sure everything was built within the SciTech quality standards. If that happens, it's then moved into wet test. Again, it'll come into wet test with no poly, just a machine with a door and the controller underneath it. We'll go through the DI bugging after adding the DI lines to it, make sure the fittings are tight and so forth. Start doing some process runs. Once the technician is happy with the quality of the tool, we have another QC of another technician to review it in detail. If it passes, it goes through approximately 50 process runs, no errors. If it has an error, that's replaced. That's part of the burn-in process. And then we go ahead and restart the process. After the 50 run process, sales is notified and we do a video for the customers. Every single thing we sell at SciTech, unless it's a spare part, gets a video source inspection, so it's good documentation. The customer knows it left in perfect shape, and they're happy with the quality of before it leaves our facility. I have about another minute on here. So what I'm going to do at the end of this is it's called the RSP, rotor stop positioner. It actually fires out and it'll hit the cam assembly in the back. It'll rotate to a specific spot, which we call home position. That'll be 12 o'clock. When it operates to 12 o'clock, the wafer's here. And then when the RPM goes down to 0, I'll hear like the door's locked now. I'll hear the door release and I'll be able to open up and show you the nice dry wafers. What I'll do then is I'll take those out. I'll put in our insert, which you'll see it takes less than, I'm going to call it 10 seconds to do a wafer change outside with no tools. We'll put this in there, load the 75 millimeter 3-inch wafers, and run the same process. Why that's happening, I'll talk about all of the other products that SciTech does offer. We have about 20 seconds now left before this process is over. Our state-of-the-art touchscreen control, green's good. N2 valves on, low pressure purges on, N2 heaters on, and the bowl heaters on. Alrighty, here we go. This is a small wafer, so it'll actually slow down pretty quick. Yep, there we go. The rotor stop positioner just fired. There we go. I just heard the door seal release. Okay, when a process is over, yeah, if it's a good process, you'll get completed a successful run. If it has a problem, it'll say unsuccessful run, and there'll be an alarm in our alarm screen. So to clear this, you can hit OK, you can hit stop, or you can just open the door. All three do the same thing. I'll do what an operator would probably do. They just walk up and open the door. As you saw, it clears the screen to the home. Amber means we're idle. We're good again. Nice and warm. Yeah, look at this. Nice and dry, cassette's warm. It looks very nice. Okay, so all of a sudden, somebody else comes up and says, well, I've got 3-inch wafers. I need to run this machine. They take our insert. Our inserts, these are the back of the inserts. These are the stop positions against the back of the rotor. You simply just slide it in. I've now converted the system to 3-inch. I take the cassette. H bar for always goes back on rotors and inserts. Slide the wafers in, and we're done loading. And the operator, I always do a reset just naturally, but you don't have to. And then I hit start. Okay, same process. We're in the rinse cycle. Then we'll go through the purge, dry 1 and dry 2. You see how smooth this is. You wouldn't even know it's running if you weren't standing in front of it. If you walk away, it's so quiet. Okay, so I talked about our remanufacturing process. We've done at SlickDevice, we've done a lot of systems. I think we're approaching 3,000 heads we've refurbished over our 20 years. So on this unit called the F model, and it's a 240, we have every single spare part. Replacement controllers, yes. Buttons, yes. Motors, yes. Heater blankets, resistivity probes, anti-static modules. They don't have that option, but if they wanted to, they can add it. All of the sensors, the 8 PSI, the 20 PSI, the tack system. Everything and anything on this system right there, we have brand new, 100%. Windows, window seals, everything. So for spare parts, and that's for this system, we have it for all versions of what we sell. The 240s, 260s, 280s, 270s, 2300s, all wafer sizes, all configuration. So if you have a semi-tool F, as in Frank, S as in Sam, or ST, we have 100% spare parts for you. Okay, so that talks about our semi-tool spares. We also, if you go to our website at sitechprocess.com, you'll see we have a button on the left-hand side. The first 6 are all spin rinse dryer related. The rinser dryers themselves, the ST, the F, and the S, we have lots of them on our website. Then the next 3 are all the spare parts specific for those tools. The next tab, that button down, is our stock of this semi-tool SAT, SST, and WST parts. We don't have as many of those because we really acquire those from companies that have either retired tools or other reasons. The next button down is called Vertec. Vertec is the competitive semi-tool for the last 30 years. About 3 years ago, SlickDevice, we purchased the Vertec product line. We are now the OEM. We have all the drawings, the spare parts. We have all the software. We have everything. So we supply, and we do quite a lot of refurbishments now with the Vertec rinser dryers. When we bought the product line, we bought it mostly for spare parts. We didn't realize how many systems need to be refurbished. We always have Vertex in here being rebuilt now. I see one actually over there in final test. So that's for the spin rinse dryer and the semi-tool and the Vertec product lines. Let's see where we're at. We're in dry 2, so we have another 3 minutes to go. Yep, 3 minutes. We also do other front-end wafer fab tools. For wet processing, we are now basically the OEM for the HTC Floorware Integris box washer. We do the 8000, 8010, 8020, 8030. We have orders now for 4000. It's on the wall. We have an 8020 on the wall. We have an 8010 we just purchased, and we just bought an 8000. So we always have box washers. And we have complete spare parts on those. You'll go to our website. We have all the hubs. We have the spray arms. We have replacement controllers. We have the heaters. We have all the sensors. We have everything. The other thing in spare that's on the wet processing side for DI is the Ultra T, Ultratech, K&S type scrubbers. That would be the mass scrubbers, wafer scrubbers, high pressure brush, etc. We do quite a lot of those. In fact, we have 2 on order now, and we should have an order for 2 more in the next less than a week, we think. So we're building a lot of those mass spinners right now. That covers our DI processing. We also do metrology. I know we have 3 Nano 4000s we're doing refurbishing now. We have Nano 210s, Nano 210 UVs. We have Prometrics tools. We have KLA particle counters. For lipsometry, we do Gertner, Rudolph lipsometry equipment. We do quite a lot of deck tack and alpha step type profilers. So on our website, there's a lot of buttons. You can either, in the search bar, put in a specific part number or company name and bring up what matches, or you can go to the tab below, like film surface measurement or box washers. We have one that's box washers, and you click that button and it'll bring you into all the parts we have. Okay, about a minute to go. We also do photolithography equipment. We are rebuilding all kinds of photoresist pumps. We do Millipore, IDI, Cybor. I know we have at least a back order of 3 or 4 or 5 complete pump assemblies. We have a lot of IDI 300s, 400s in stock right now. A lot of Millipore in stock. So we have a dedicated area that we do all of the complete rebuilds, testing, and videos of those. Customers can send us their pumps because we get them all the time to do their repair and rebuild of theirs because most OEMs aren't supporting them anymore. Okay, we have 30 seconds left. At the end of this 30 seconds, the same thing will happen. The RSP will fire. It'll roll upright to home position. When the RPM is 0, I'll hear, again, the door's locked. I'll hear the door release, and we'll be able to check for nice dry substrates. At the end of this process, I'll then finalize this video with the overall SciTech support. Alrighty. Okay. Successful run, good. For reference, as I said, if there was a problem, this alarm screen would be a red. You click on it, it would have an alarm. It would tell you, did someone do the next button? Is the door not sealing? The bowl heater not working? The anti-static not working? RSP's got a problem. N2 heaters, pressure switches, tack and motor assembly, motor overshoot, resistivity probe if it didn't meet spec. If you have a problem and you want to go into maintenance mode, the operator can simply hit that. Okay, this is blinking light is never good on usually a tool, and we have a tool down banner. That makes it pretty clear when an operator comes up, do not use this machine. That way it can be tool down until a maintenance person comes over and figures out what's wrong. Once the maintenance person does that, they're going to clear the alarm, there is one now, and then they would take maintenance off, go back to home, and solid amber means we're ready to run the process again. Let me go ahead and take these substrates out. Kind of got sidetracked. Ooh, nice and warm. Set looks good, nice and warm, wafers are dry. And then simply, okay, guess what? We want to run 100 millimeter now. Well, you know what? 5 seconds later, you're now running 4-inch wafers. Okay, so I've talked about our spin rinse dryer support and technology. Part of the SRD, which I didn't talk about, is repairs. We do a lot of controller repairs. The 101, the PSC 102s, the 328s, the older tools. We have complete repair of the servo amps, the old Automotion servo amps, the LC4, LC5, and we also support the FSI, TEL, Mercury systems on their servo amps. So you can send us in your servo amps. We have complete repair on that. We probably have, geez, at least 10 or 15 of the servo amps at any given time being repaired in our repair shop. So I've talked about our semi-tool product lines, talked about metrology, our other wet processing, and our photolithography capabilities. So that kind of rounds off what SciTech does. If you have any questions, when you go to our website at scitechprocess.com, any product page you're on has a contact sales button. They can click that in there. It'll default to whatever page you're on to tell us what you're looking for. And then you put in your email, your phone number, and we'll get back to you immediately with documentation and or a quote. Again, my name is Jim Mullany from SciTech Process Solutions. If you have any questions on this video, simply email sales@scitechprocess.com or call our main corporate number at 916-797-9000 and ask for anyone in our sales organization. Again, today is Friday, October 14th, 2022. I hope everyone has a nice Halloween coming up in the United States. Thank you.